Hi, welcome to another episode of 99 Reasons to Start and Keep on Practicing Breathwork. In my previous videos, I explained breath analysis system, and I also talked about the importance of getting our breath analyzed so that we can understand what wrong we are doing, what kind of wrong breathing habits we have, or what kind of dysfunctional breathing habits we have, and then the importance of starting a customized journey to build breath awareness and to start changing our breathing pattern, because our body lives with breath, our body lives with oxygen, our tissues, our cells, our brain, our organs function and stay well and healthy due to breathing, due to the breath we have, due to how well our breathing is. And if we have breathing problems, we will eventually have physical problems, and due to that we will have all kinds of mental and also psychological problems. And as you know, mental health is a big issue around the world today, and no wonder why it's a big issue, because when you look at how many people have dysfunctional breathing habits, every 7 people out of 10 have dysfunctional breathing habits. So it's 70% and sometimes above around the world, and millions of people are suffering from the symptoms of dysfunctional breathing habits like panic, anxiety, panic attack, anxiety, stress, fear, headaches and migraine, attention deficit problems, chronic pain, neck pain, shoulder pain, all kinds of problems you would need physiotherapy for, and also a lot of problems you go to psychologists to, like depression and stress and too much emotional imbalance. These are all related to our breathing habits. And I also explained in my previous videos how the body fluid pH changes and how the brain fluid pH changes. And today I want to talk and dive deep into a little bit about creativity and how practicing breathwork every day led me and most of my students, hundreds of them who were able to practice breathwork daily, how daily breathwork led all of us to boosting our creativity. I was watching a video of Elon Musk the other day, and I watched him say that when he was 5 or 6, he had all kinds of creative ideas. He couldn't stop his mind because his mind was so creative, full of creative ideas. And I immediately thought to myself, said to myself, he must be breathing. He must be breathing right. He must be breathing perfectly. He must have a very healthy breathing habit. He probably has a functional breathing habit, because it's obvious that he's using his full potential in life, and he's fully going, in full speed. So that depends on our breath. Why? Very basic. The more breath you have in your system, the healthier your breathing pattern is. The more oxygen you will have in your system, which will turn to ATP, the more energy you will have in your body, and the more energetic you will have, and the more a power horse you will become. And today I'm going to talk about creativity, because creativity also depends on our breathing habits. If it did not depend on our breathing habits, hundreds of people I've been working with wouldn't have a more creative mind, wouldn't tell me that the creativity they were, having a boost of creativity. They wouldn't tell things like they would wake up in 4 o'clock in the morning. That happens to me a lot, and start thinking creative ideas, or how their businesses changed, how their life changed, how creative they became in all areas of life. So creativity only and only happens with a healthy mind. Creativity only and only happens with a healthy brain. I don't understand how there are many people interested in mental wellness, how millions of people are trying to have mental health and mental wellness, and how almost nobody talks about the importance of breath, the importance of breathing habits for mental wellness. Why? Because I don't understand. If you don't have a healthy brain, how can you have a healthy mental health? It's like, it's just basic. And people, without looking at their brain, without bringing more oxygen to their brain, without focusing on their breath, without focusing on their health, because breath is health. It's like the better you breathe, obviously, the more healthy you will be. The better you breathe, the better your brain will function. The better you breathe, the more oxygen you will have in your brain, the more clear your brain will get, the more functional your brain will work. It's just so obvious because our whole organs, tissues, cells, our brain needs that oxygen, needs ATP, and brain is one of those organs in our body who uses ATP more than the other organs. And you probably realize that. It's like I have been experiencing that for many years, even though I don't exercise like I did many years ago, because due to my work schedule and due to my lifestyle for the past 5 to 10 years, I spend a lot of time thinking, and I spend a lot of time with, I spend a lot of time with creative thinking and objective thinking and going over things and planning and envisioning, and I spend a lot of time meditating and concentrating and working with my thoughts actually. And I realized that I spend more energy sitting down and thinking than I spend in exercising. It's very interesting. Like when I look back how my diet was many years ago, I would eat less, I would exercise more, and I would still, find it hard to stay fit and well. And now I eat everything I want. I do not limit myself at all. Although, because I'm living a very fulfilled life due to my breathing habit, because I have enough oxygen in the body, I have enough oxygen in my cells, I really feel fulfilled. I cannot eat excess. So I had eating disorders when I was a teenager. I had all kinds of addictive behavior, and that was due to my dysfunctional breathing habit, because I was feeling unfulfilled. Many people eat too much. Many people have dysfunctional eating disorders, dysfunctional behaviors. Many people have addictive behaviors. Many people experience up and down emotions due to their breathing habits, like me and like thousands of people I have worked with. Dysfunctional breathing habits, unbalanced breathing unbalances our emotions. And if we don't have enough oxygen in our bodies, in our cells, if our body is not fulfilled physically to energy, pure ATP, breath equals to pure life energy, breath equals to pure ATP. Why is breath so important for my body, for my tissues, cells, for my organs, my brain? Because it brings the energy it needs. Breath brings the energy my brain needs. Breath brings the energy my body needs, the energy for my cells to regenerate. So that's why it's so important. And if you don't have this energy, like I didn't many years ago before I started daily practicing breathwork, you will feel drained and you will feel unfulfilled. If you are someone who is feeling unfulfilled, if you feel like you lost connection with life, you feel depressed, sometimes anxious, if there is this emptiness in your system that leads to addictive behavior or eating disorders or unbalanced emotions, check your breathing habits, because dysfunctional breathing habits lead to that. And I explained that in detail in my previous videos. I'm going to come back to the brain. So what happens, our brain is, like I said, one of the organs which which spends most of the energy we have in our body. So it is one of those organs which needs oxygen, which will turn into ATP, which means it needs a healthy breathing habit more than any other organ. And that's why if you have dysfunctional breathing habits, you will start having symptoms related to your brain. People who have dysfunctional breathing habits first start experiencing those habits with brain fog. They start experiencing those habits with attention deficit problems. You say to yourself, I can't think straight. And then you start not having creative thoughts. Your brain stops creativity. Your brain stops creating creative thoughts. Your brain stops concentrating. Your brain stops focusing, because if it doesn't have enough oxygen, it doesn't have enough oxygen to turn to ATP, it is drained. So a drained brain, which doesn't have the food it needs, which is ATP, which comes from our breathing, starts not functioning well. And that's why people with dysfunctional breathing habits experience brain fog, concentration issues, they can't focus well, they do not have creative thoughts. Then you start having headaches and migraines, and then you start not feeling healthy in the brain, and it's kind of like it feels heavy. And then you start thinking and thinking and thinking, the monkey mind, many people who are interested or teaching mental health talks about. So the monkey mind gets activated because of the pH difference. If you are breathing wrong, if you have dysfunctional breathing habits, because of the pH unbalance, because our breathing manipulates respiration, the respiratory chemistry. And if the respiratory chemistry gets unbalanced due to a dysfunctional breathing you will have an unbalanced body fluid pH, and you will have an unbalanced brain fluid pH. And if your brain fluid pH is too alkaline or too acidic, the brain starts, the brain doesn't function well. And it starts thinking negative thoughts, it starts thinking distorted thoughts, it starts seeing life through its perceptions, it starts thinking in a polarized way. And if you don't go back to the root of the problem and change that breathing habit that is the cause of the problem, that is the cause of the polarized thoughts and the negative thoughts and the perceptions and your illusion, your life will always be the same. Your life is like this due to your thoughts. You probably know this. It's like you are experiencing the life of your thoughts. It's like whatever you think, you're gonna experience, because this life is happening due to our thinking habits, due to our perceptions. Our life mirrors whatever we think about it. And if you have distorted thoughts, distorted emotions, electrical charge due to your dysfunctional breathing habit and unbalanced body fluid pH, you will always have problems in your life, and you will always suffer in your relationships and work and all areas of life. That's why, miraculously, people who practice breathwork every day, people who get their breathing analyzed in detail, people who understand what they're doing wrong. I have worked with tens of thousands of people, and I have helped tens of thousands of people all around the world analyze their breathing habits, understand how they're breathing, understand what they're doing wrong, and then start a customized journey. The best thing is now we have it on a technological platform. We use technology to bring breath analysis to you and start a customized, to support you start a customized journey. With Breath Hub, you can get your breathing analyzed in a matter of few minutes, and then you can start a customized journey again in a matter of few minutes, because that's the beauty of technology. We created an algorithm, and then with that algorithm you just answer some basic behavioral science questions, and then the algorithm understands how you're breathing, what you're doing with your breathing, like you were analyzing your breathing with a breath expert. And then after that analysis, there is a customized journey for you only to heal and ease your specific dysfunctional, your breathing habit. And the more you heal that, the more stable your respiratory chemistry will be. And the more stable your respiratory chemistry is, the more stable your body fluid chemistry will be. And 7.4, which is a miraculous functional body fluid chemistry and brain fluid chemistry, leads to all kinds of creative thoughts. So when Elon Musk was speaking the other day, and I was watching him on a video on YouTube, I remembered the importance of breathing functional, because he's probably breathing functional, because only a 7.4 pH, but if you have a 7.4 body fluid pH and brain fluid pH, you can think that kind of a creative thought. So that's the level. With a healthy brain, with a healthy mind, if you have a healthy brain, you will have a healthy mind. So if your brain isn't functioning well due to your breathing habits, start with your breathing. If you're after mental health, if you want to heal or ease some of these symptoms like feeling tired and brain fog and the issue of not concentrating, not being able to focus, all kinds of attention deficit problems. In the young generation, ADD, ADHD gets triggered and gets worse. And I have seen hundreds of teenagers who are experiencing ADD and ADHD due to their breathing habits. Can you imagine? Like, I have seen only myself as an expert in my workshops and in my courses and in my retreats, a few hundred teenagers who were experiencing ADD, ADHD, attention deficit problems due to their hyperactive breathing habits. They were experiencing hyperactivity. I've seen children, 4 years old, 5 years old, hyperactive children who have that hyperactivity due to that hyper breathing habit. And when we balance that habit, because that hyper breathing habit leads to an alkaline, leads to a chemical change in the body, it leads to a chemical change in the brain. And when the brain fluid pH gets too much alkaline, you start thinking all kinds of crazy thoughts, and you can't focus, and you have that monkey mind, and you lose your ability to focus and concentrate. And ADD and ADHD can be because of a breathing habit. And you wouldn't need all those prescriptive medicine, prescriptive drugs. You would just need daily breathwork practice. And I've seen, again, hundreds of teenagers, hundreds of children heal or ease hyperactivity, ADD and ADHD by just practicing regular breathwork and by analyzing their breathing habits, finding out what they're doing wrong, and starting a customized journey, practicing what they need. In the end, I have seen hundreds of them heal, totally heal anxiety, panic, ADD, ADHD, attention deficit problems, 200 scientifically well-known symptoms of dysfunctional breathing habits. Of course, the symptoms you can heal with daily breath work or by analyzing your breath and starting a customized journey are the symptoms that are breathing related. So if you want more creativity in your mind, if you want a healthy mind for mental health, for mental wellness, first start with brain health. You need a healthy brain. You need a functioning brain to have mental health. If your brain lost its health, and it doesn't have to have a very serious problem, if you are breathing wrong, if you have dysfunctional breathing habits, your brain doesn't have the oxygen it needs. It doesn't have the ATP it needs. It doesn't have the energy it needs. That's why it's not functioning well. That's why many people do have mental health problems. I'm not saying that, mental health problems are only because of dysfunctional breathing habits, because there are some problems who are related with breathing. There are some problems that are not related with breathing, that are triggered or perpetuated or exacerbated by dysfunctional breathing habits. And there are some symptoms who are caused just because of dysfunctional breathing habits. In any case, it's gonna become less, and you're gonna have less problems if you get your breathing analyzed and start a journey where you can heal, ease, and change your specific breathing habit. Give it a try. Thank you for watching my videos, and I'm gonna keep on talking about 99 reasons to start breathwork and keep on breathing and keep on continuing breathwork. Send your messages and send emails to us, and make sure you send your ideas and thoughts just underneath. And I'm looking forward to hearing from you. My team is looking forward to hearing from you. Download BreathHub, get the breath analysis, start a customized breathing journey. Just try it for a week, because then you can cancel if you don't like it. We have a very high conversion rate. So many people, after the breathing analysis and they start daily breath work because they get results, they keep on practicing. So keep on practicing for a few months. Things will change. You will get better. You will be healthier. You will start thinking more creative. You will be able to focus better. You will be able to concentrate more, and you will have a much more healthier brain. That's why we are here. We are here to support you. We're here to support your health and well-being. Thank you.